next tutorial. This time I'm meant to be dressed up as my take on, I guess you could say, a steampunk clown. Basically, I decided to go in a completely different direction than I usually go when I do my scary clown makeups, because I have done quite a few and it is difficult to try and think of something different and unique to introduce to a clown makeup, so hopefully I did something interesting looking. It's definitely different from anything I've done before in the past, and I had so much fun doing it. I know I say that every time, but it's so much fun to work with something when I have a basic idea and I don't really know exactly which direction I'm going to go, but I kind of evolve it as I'm going along, and this is what I come up with. And a huge shout out to my lovely friend Toast, who actually sent me an image of a costume he thought I might like, which actually ended up inspiring this idea. So yeah, if you'd like to learn how to recreate this makeup for yourself, stay tuned. Okie dokie, so enough clowning around, let's start the makeup. So once again, today's makeup is going to be a makeup including a full face foam latex prosthetic. I really do love using like pre-made foam latex prosthetics from time to time, just because like it gives people a chance that couldn't necessarily sculpt or cast their own prosthetics to actually experience it for themselves, which is pretty wonderful. Don't get me wrong, I love making my own prosthetics, but every now and again it's just nice for a change. So today's prosthetic is this rather fantastic looking clown. Isn't that awesome looking? It's kind of a mixture between a jester and a clown. I love it. And I know I say it a lot, but I'm really excited to apply this piece because if you notice, these amazing marks, like these wounds in the actual prosthetic, are made to look like the clown markings, which I just think is a really clever design choice. Plus it's got this really large mouth area, which I'm really happy about, because generally whenever I apply a prosthetic that has to be stuck down around the mouth, I always worry about the corners here, because obviously I talk quite a lot and I'm quite expressive. You tend to find that the corners of the mouth lift up from time to time, so it's nice that I've got a piece here that's really just stuck down at the cheeks and not necessarily the corners of the mouth. And if you wanted to pick up this particular prosthetic for yourself, I got mine at mostlydead.com. I'll pop their link on the screen there and the description bar below. I get a lot of my prosthetics from them, as you might be able to tell by now. I just really like them. I think they're a great company and they've got a lot of choices of prosthetics. Yeah. So for anyone out there that's not seen me apply foam latex prosthetics before, I'll quickly talk to you about how to apply them. I like to apply them with a product called Prostick. It's one of my all-time favourite adhesives whenever I use foam latex. And to use the Prostick, I take a paper cotton bud, dip it in the Prostick, and then I start in the middle of the prosthetic. It's something I like doing whenever I use a full foam latex piece. If I start in the middle, I can start sticking things away from the face, that way it all lines up nicely. So I apply the Prostick in the nose area, then onto my nose, give it about 10 seconds to get tacky, and then start sticking it down. I can then apply some more Prostick to my cheek area, stick those down, then the mouth area, the temples, and eventually the forehead until it's all nicely stuck down and there's no ridges and everything is nice and comfortable and conforms to my face. So with all that said, let's start sticking it down. Then, once everything is stuck down, we can take another paper cotton bud, some more Prostick, and we can start blending all these edges. So the method that I use to do that is to take the cotton bud and the Prostick and just start rolling away on all of these edges until everything is nicely sealed and blended off. Make sure just to go in one direction and not back and forth, otherwise you'll start lifting up the edges. So just go over all of the edges, which includes around the prosthetic, around the eyes, and around the mouth area. So when everything's blended, we can start working on the foundation. So whenever I do a clown makeup, which includes when I use a prosthetic, I like to use watercolours and creams, just because clown makeup is usually quite heavy. However, this time I'm going to go with an alcohol activated palette, purely because I want to make this blend into my own skin tone, and then I'm going to stipple some white over the top of it to make it look as if the clown makeup is kind of weathering off. So to use this type of palette, you're going to need 99% alcohol, and that's used to activate the colours. So I'm going to be using two palettes for this. The first palette is going to be the Life Colour palette by Neil Gall, and this is in Enhanced. This one is going to be purely for the skin tones. And the other palette that I'm going to use is the Skin Illustrator FX palette, just because it's got a really nice white colour in there. So I'm going to start by stippling on a red colour just so I can get a base going. I can then go over that with some lighter colours to make everything look a lot more translucent and more realistic. I'm then going to take the white colour from the effects palette and then start stippling that all over my face, my neck and my ears. So then, just to dirty this up a little bit more, I'm going to take an actual paintbrush that's really, really stiff. I'm going to take the black colour from the Skin Illustrator FX palette. You could use black watercolour for this. I'm going to load up a lot of the colour on the brush and I'm going to start spackling it going across the face. So now I can work on the details of the face. So I'm going to take my Makeup Forever Flash palette and I'm going to take the black from that palette and apply that in the wounds across the face. So don't worry about it being neat, we only want there to be a little bit of black just so there's more depth. So then I can take the red cream from the same flash palette and apply that over the black. I'm then going to go over these wounded areas with some fake blood. I'm using Superstar's Stage Blood. I'm also going to take a tiny bit of that same fake blood on a medium fluffy brush and I'm just going to start stippling it around the edges of all of the wounds. Then going back to the black cream from the flash palette, I'm going to apply that in the middle area of this fake mouth. Then again with the same black cream, I'm going to colour in my eyelids and underneath my eye and blend it away, only a tiny bit on the bottom, it's going to be mostly blended upwards. So next, I'm going to bring out all of these lovely wrinkle lines, all of the details around the face. Now, usually I would use the black cream again, but I don't want to overpower this because there's quite a lot going on as it is. So what I'm going to do is take an angle brush and a black eyeshadow. This one is by Sugarpill in Bulletproof. And I'm just going to trace all of these gorgeous wrinkle lines and crow's feet and around the mouth and chin and just dust them away. That way it'll really highlight them and make sure they're not too overpowering. So the next step is going to be the lips. Now, as most of you know, whenever I do a clown makeup or a jester makeup, I usually paint a bright coloured lip. But this time, seeing as we've got quite a bit of detail going on as it is, I'm actually not. Instead, I'm going to paint them white with the cream from the flash palette, and I'm going to blend the black cream that's already in the mouth area slightly down over the black. I just think it'll make it look a lot more creepy and less fun. So then we can work on the nose area. So like the lips, I usually do a bright red or a bright colour of some kind, except this time I'm going to paint the nose in the same way that I did the mouth. So I'm going to paint the nose in the white cream first, then have the black fading towards the centre, and finally I'm going to use a red cream around the edge. So all of the colours are going to converge in the middle. Then finally, all that's left for me to do is pop in some contact lenses, pop on a costume, and we'll see what it looks like. And there we go! That's my look, officially complete. So I finished the look off by popping on a really long blonde wig that I basically backcombed until it exploded. I also sprayed it with black and white hairspray. I also popped on a hat that I made myself. It's not particularly special, but I think it helps the look. I basically bought a generic hat with some goggles on it, so I took the goggles off, spray painted them silver, added a few chains here and there, some hooks, some extra cogs and some spikes. I also cut some cog shapes out of cardboard and spray painted them silver. Oh, and of course I added some feathers. I think it looks alright. It might be a little bit rough, but it does help complete the look. The costume that I popped on is this really gorgeous kind of vintage clown costume. I actually got it off eBay and I completed it with some white ruffs that I actually got from IKEA and some white generic gloves. And finally, I popped in some really cool white mesh contact lenses that I got from camoeyes.com. I'll pop that link in the description bar below. I really love this type of lens because you can still see through them, but they really make it look as if your eyes are really hazed over, and I think it really helps this look. And I also got this really cool staff that I got from Amazon. I think it goes well with it. Boop. I was also going to use some fake teeth, but it's really difficult to talk in with a prosthetic and the teeth, so yeah, I might not do that. Oh, it's even harder with 2 sets of teeth in. Ah. Effective though. And yeah, so that's my tutorial. I really hope you all enjoyed it. I know I've done a lot of clowns in the past, so I really wanted to go in a completely different direction to kind of make this a vintage, kind of ghostly steampunk clown. Either way, I had a lot of fun doing it and trying different things. I hope you all like it. And yeah, so thanks everyone so much for watching. If you did like this tutorial, please make sure to, you know, the usual, like, comment, subscribe and all that jazz. And yeah, so until next time, bye fluffies!